LeBron just left more than $50 million on the table, waved goodbye to Hollywood sunsets, and jumped into a city that still hasn't sniffed a conference final since flip phones were a thing. Why would the most calculating superstar in modern basketball risk everything on Philadelphia, a franchise that for a decade was little more than a punchline about trust the process, Grandmaster chess move, or frantic last-ditch heave? Drop your gut call in the comments right now, because by the time this story is done, inside the Lakers practice facility believed the relationship would ever turn toxic. Yet that's exactly what happened. Pull back the curtain. It started with front office whispers that Jeanie Buss personally nixed LeBron's deadline push for a Kyrie Irving rescue trade after the Luka Dončić gamble fizzled. The rift widened when Darvin Ham benched LeBron for 3 consecutive crunch time possessions against Oklahoma City, hoping to spark the kids. Behind closed doors, the phrase stat padding was tossed around, and nothing cuts deeper for a guy who calls himself the king. One more lukewarm season and the word washed would be stamped over 4 championships in 2 decades. After a blowout loss to Denver, LeBron opened a private group chat with Rich Paul, Randy Mims, and his personal analytics guru. They pulled up cap sheets, remaining contract years, and shot chart heat maps. Miami, too shallow. Golden State, cap nightmare. Cleveland, great story, limited ceiling. And then the spreadsheet landed on Philadelphia, a roster that went 3 deep with 26 plus point scorers, a crafty front office willing to empty the asset clip, and an ownership group that openly started its stealth due diligence. Daryl Morey was gutting and renovating the Sixers like a house flipper on espresso shots. Tobias Harris's $30+ million expiring and 2 future swaps were flipped for Jaylen Brown, while Mo Harkless's non-guaranteed deal became Anthony Simons. Overnight, Philly added 2 perimeter scorers, slashed age across the roster, and yet somehow the most seismic tremor was still loading. LeBron inked for $24 million, pennies by his standards, with rumors of a post-retirement front office apprenticeship and a micro slice of ownership. If you're Adam Silver, are you smiling at the ratings bump or quietly squinting at the CBA language? Within hours, let me know below. The Sixers shot past Boston and sat shoulder to shoulder with Denver as co-favorites. Odds are great fodder for hype videos, but the league isn't played on spreadsheets, it's played with only one basketball. Embiid, Maxey, Brown, and LeBron soaked up a combined 121% usage last season. History says the most a champion has ever carried is 110. Someone will have to surrender touches, and spoiler alert, nobody in that quartet enjoys watching from the point forward mode, promising to orchestrate early and finish late, the same switchblade approach that terrorized defenses in Miami. Nick Nurse is scribbling triple zoom actions that put Braun at the nail, Maxey flying off a pin down, Brown lurking on the baseline, Embiid sealing inside. It looks unstoppable when the markers are fresh and the legs are springy. But what happens in January on the second night of a back-to-back in Detroit when Maxey's cooking and Brown hasn't touched the rock for 5 straight possessions? Cue the sideline. All the X and O glitter dies if the franchise center can't stay upright. Joel Embiid has missed 133 regular season games in 3 seasons, more time in street clothes than Allen Iverson spent arguing with refs his entire career. This summer, Embiid trimmed to 268 pounds, his lightest since Kansas, and hired biomechanics savant Philip Beach to teach his knees how to breathe, whatever that means. Philly insiders swear Embiid now performs a 30-minute toe mobility routine before each shoot-around. Meanwhile, the front office quietly rang Cleveland about a Jarrett Allen insurance policy, fully aware that a championship run without a playable backup 5 feels like cliff annihilates narratives. In last year's Game 7 against Boston, he detonated for 34-12-6, shrugging off double teams like pickup game fly swatters. Injured Embiid, though, is the poster child for Philly heartbreak, the same city that booed Santa Claus and once watched a paralyzed Joe Jurevicius run free in the NFC title game. Which version shows up? Type Iron Man if you believe Ice Pack, the newly imported Finals MVP, who once turned a routine film session into a half-hour lecture on black literary theory, stunning half the Celtics staff. True story per a Boston beat writer. Some call him the smartest guy in the room. Others call him the loudest. Analytics departments across the league cooled on him hard after 2 years of turnover-heavy left-hand drives. One Western Conference exec reportedly labeled him a luxury third banana. Brown's response was simple. He dropped 67 points in an Atlanta summer run 3 days before signing in Philly. Confidence? Check. The only human alive with the juice to modulate that volume knob? LeBron, Raymond, James. Will Brown lock in or freelance? Hit the thread with Maxey, the quiet storm who averages 28.64, yet still hears empty calories. In an era inflated by offense, critics love context, so they flagged his playoff slide against New York, where production tumbled to 18 a night while Jalen Brunson threw daggers off the bounce. Maxey took it personally. He spent 6 weeks at Steph Curry's lab in Redwood City, force-feeding his lower body iso squats and studying film of Chris Paul's pocket pass angles. He returns 15 pounds heavier, good weight, not bouncer weight, and still clocks in at a 4.9-second three-quarter sprint. His deadliest feature remains the 42% catch-and-shoot clip. Visualize LeBron posting on the mid-block, 2 to the ball, skip pass fires to Maxey nylon. Now picture it 20 times a game. Knicks fans display needs a safety inspector. Enter VJ Edgecombe, the 19-year-old who matched Wilt Chamberlain's rookie debut with 34 points, then casually hung 16 a night all year. The kid wants an all-defensive nod and isn't shy about it. Crafted NBA analytics currently slot him in the low 70s percentile for deflections and contests. Solid, but not exactly Gary Payton territory. He claims he's ready to shadow Jason Tatum, Devin Booker, and Anthony Edwards on a nightly basis. The less he worries about scoring next to LeBron, the more energy he can pour into perimeter chaos. Clamps or campfire raises the next alarm. Choose your adventure. Anthony Simons is an electric microwave, but a defensive turnstile. Paul Reed is perpetually stuck between switch everything wing and undersized 5. Rookie second-rounder Bobby Anderson is a 6'9" Dane who shot 43% from deep in Spain but couldn't keep a cone in front of him at the combine. Morey preached playoff depth over regular season comfort, betting that staggered minutes with at least 2 stars on the court will mask bench holes. It worked for the top-heavy 2016 Cavs. It also detonated the 2021 Nets. The Sixers open with a brutal gauntlet at Milwaukee, home for Denver, at Boston, at Brooklyn on the second night of a back-to-back. A rocky start and Philly sports radio will chew flesh, but a 4-0 blast-off and you'll see confetti memes by Halloween. Circle December 25th, Lakers at Sixers, national TV. Imagine the montage. LeBron staring down purple and gold uniforms he personally resurrected, Embiid shadowboxing Billy Penn's statue overlooking the arena larger than any step-back 3. Embiid's Supermax balloons to $60 million the year after next. Maxey's extension features $12 million in escalators tied to all NBA selections. Jaylen Brown carries the richest wing contract in league history. LeBron's player option hovers at $32 million, but retirement rumors will hang over every road trip. The new second apron rules punish teams for even modest bench upgrades. Morey basically wedged 10 pounds of dynamite into a 5-pound lunchbox. Parade makes the stakes feel biblical. Ring number 5 would make LeBron the only player in NBA history to snag finals MVPs across 3 separate decades. It would also tie him with Kobe Bryant and Tim Duncan, inch him within 1 of Jordan, and make every sports talk segment for the next 4 months a debate between GOAT plus longevity or 6-ring myth. Blow up and the timeline shifts. We'll talk less about Mount Rushmore and more about how a 41-year-old legend overstayed, how a center never stayed healthy, how the process where do you land right now? Championship parade down Broad Street or flaming wreck into the school kill type trophy. If you're buying the vision, clown if you think the experiment sinks like a battery in the Delaware. Tag the friend who claimed LeBron was finished in 2023, bookmark this video, and come back in June. The king, the glass giant, the genius outsider, the speed demon, and the brash rookie have exactly 1 season to yank Philadelphia out of meme culture and into marble statue territory. No middle ground. Immortality or internet fodder. Your move, Philly.